Hello everyone, welcome back to E46 channel. Today I am going to show you how to make your car look great again. I am going to work on my fender, get rid of rust and make it look like brand new again. First I started sanding with the fender mounted in the car, but the rust is so bad here, so I'm going to have to take the fender off the car. I did fix this once last year, but because the rust is through the metal, it's gonna make the life easier to just take the fender off the car and start sanding. I even tried to use a more aggressive plate to grind it, but while I was grinding it, I was thinking I'm gonna have to do this thing again next year, so why not remove the fender from the car and do a proper job so I don't have to come back and do the same thing again. I actually only planned to do the spot here where the rust was showing, but while I was grinding around the wheel well, I noticed that there was more rust around it, and that's when I decided to just remove the fender and do a proper job so I didn't have to come back next year again and do the same process again. And I mean, just look at it, how bad it is. Like, it's through the whole metal and it's spreading everywhere around the wheel well, so it gotta be fixed right. To remove the fender, first you gotta have to remove the mud guard or the plastic piece protector that is behind the wheel. So you're gonna have to jack the car up, remove the wheel, remove the plastic piece which is held in place by few screws and some plastic clips starting from under the car there, and to work your way around it. Once you remove the mud guard, there are three screws you got to remove from there. Two of them are located behind the wheel towards where the door is, and one of them is located in front of the wheel, between the wheel and the headlight. After you have removed all the screws that hold the fender in place, you got to pull the front bumper a little bit outwards so you can wiggle the fender and remove it, take it out from the car. And just look at this, how bad it is. Oh man, I would have done this job again next year if I didn't take this out. I used 3 different grades of sandpaper to get this job done. I started with 150 grit, which is a very aggressive because the rust was very bad, and then I moved up to 300 to just smooth it out a little bit, and then I used 700 grit to sand down the whole fender, because last year I tried to just spray paint the area that I sanded down, but you could still notice the new paint on top of the old one. And because this kind of color is very hard to match, when I went to BMW and asked what the correct paint would be for this job, they said there are 7 different shades of this silver color. And that's why I went to Sherwin-Williams. They took a picture of the paint with a very expensive tool, and then they matched it very close, like you can barely notice it. But anyways, since I have the fender off, I might as well go and do the whole fender to get a really good result this time. And since we are talking about spraying or painting the whole fender now, why didn't I go and replace the whole fender? First, because I love doing this job, like working on my car. Second, because it still would have been way more expensive than what it is by painting it yourself. And let me break this down for you. If I would have found a fender online, or because here is very hard to find where I live, but the only option would have been online, and it would have been around $300-400 for a cheap one in good conditions. But don't forget, the paint would have been very hard to match, so that would have still needed to be painted again, and that means that I was gonna go this process over again. Second is finding the right color, which is very hard to happen. It's very difficult to that case to be true. And taking the car to the dealership or any body shop, it would have still cost me way more than what it is costing me right now. So that's why this is the perfect way to go. With some rubbing alcohol to get some dirt, some dust out of it, especially inside the lip here that is full of rust and dust. Okay, after like 10 minutes, it's time to spray some rust fix. Here I am at my friend's auto shop, Devon Auto, which I really appreciate that Joe let me work on my car in his shop, and thank you, Jamie, for helping me with the fender, painting it. So I didn't have a garage at that time, and I didn't want to paint my fender outside where there's a lot of dust and it was windy. So I asked them and they helped me, which I really appreciate. Thanks a lot, guys. And I do apologize, guys, for not being able to record much about this process. I could do the body filling and the sanding myself, but then Jamie took over, so he did the priming and the painting, which he did an awesome job. Thanks again, Jamie. And after that I took it home and it was great. So two, four are obvious, and the fifth one is right under this piece of rubber. Okay, make sure you don't forget that. Okay, that's tight. Yeah, and then once those are tight, there is one screw right here, which you have to open the door. In 1 second, and there you can see, and there is one at the bottom which you have to screw from the inside here. So you're gonna have to take the wheel off for this job. There it is right there, and there is another one right here. So 3 screws in total for this side of the fender, close to the door. And then before you do anything else, you're gonna have to take the trim, the plastic piece, the plastic protector out. And then on this side it is kind of tricky, where the headlight is. So there is this one that you're gonna have to take off. But then you're gonna have to try to pry it out. You don't have to take anything else off here, just that you're gonna have to pull the front bumper out like so, to unclip these 2 clips here, and then you're gonna have to pull the fender inward. So you put this side first and then start pry the whole thing in, close this, put this piece here in place. There is this slot there for the rocker panel plastic protector, and then you start prying the inside piece, or the inside the fender plastic piece. There is an edge here that you have to pry the plastic piece into that edge, so the water doesn't get on the inside. And once you are done, so you start on this side here, try to push upwards and then pull outwards. There, another screw here, another there, and there are 2 or 3 underneath, which I'm gonna get in a second. And that is it for the shield here. And there are some plastic pieces here, which I'm gonna put right now. don't forget the turning signal cable there. Okay, and let's see now how the fender is aligned with the hood. Okay. And if it is not aligned properly, all you can do is loosen the torque screws in there and pull or push the fender in and out to make the line even. And that is gonna be the video for today. So if you guys enjoyed, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you find this helpful, please consider subscribing. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.